Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It is Avery here, and today we are doing something very, very special. So, we are in New Paris, Indiana at the Smokercraft headquarters, and we are at the Model 25 dealer meeting. So today we are getting to see all of the new products that Smokercraft is going to be putting out maybe in a couple weeks, next year as well. So we are going to get to see some pretty cool things. I've been working with Smokercraft for many years, and coming to these meetings and coming to photo shoots and getting to see the new product, see how my boat was built, and all the cool new things that they are doing is one of my favorite things. So we are going to bring you through the dealer meeting today, take you along with us, show you some new products, and show you some cool things coming up for the 2025 boating season. How cool is this? We are on the podium where the dealer meeting is going to begin. And as you can see behind me, all the dealers are flowing in, and it is really cool because Smokercraft brings all of these dealers together where they can bounce ideas off of each other, learn new things about the products coming out in 2025, and really just have a chance to discuss their own futures as dealers as well as the boating industry as a whole together under one roof. I want to start here, which is the history wall, which I think is a really cool aspect of the Smokercraft HQ. What most people don't know is that the company actually dates all the way back to 1903. There's some really cool artifacts and a timeline of where the company started to where it is today. You can check out some really old, cool boats and learn about the rich history of the company that's dating back over 120 years. So there are a bunch of different brands under the Smokercraft umbrella, Starcraft being founded in 1903, but the Smoker Lumber Company actually started in 1921, and the original building still stands on this property. So in 1930, the Smoker Lumber Company started producing oars and paddles. This venture originated from their love of the water and fishing and their own frustration of not being able to find suitable paddles or oars to actually carry out their adventures. Fast forward 96 years later, and Smokercraft is a leader in the boat manufacturing industry, producing some of the most well-respected brands here on their 880,000 square foot manufacturing facility. We're gonna go check out some new models for the 2025 season. Let's get going. All right, so I'm here with family friend, amazing guide and fellow pro staff, Dave Boone, and we've been out fishing in my boat, but he has his own boat, and that is the Smokercraft Fantom, which is right behind us, and he's gonna go through a little bit of the details of the Fantom. And so what's the deal, Dave, with this boat?
Avery, this is a big water monster here, built like a tank. It has 160 gauge aluminum on the hull, 125 on the sides. Big reinforced gunnels, big wide gunnels for all of your equipment. Yes, just an absolute battle wagon. This particular one has the rigid soft top option, which gives you a semi-rigid type of a top. It gives you a lot more storage inside. It gives you spreader lights off the back, plus a dome light inside. So great option for foul weather for sure. The other thing we can talk about while we're outside is the bow on this particular boat is a self-bailing bow. So once you seal off the cabin from the bow, if you're taking waves over the top, there are channels in here that will take the water straight out the back without going into your bilge. So the only water really going in your bilge would be rainwater or from your raw water wash down. So yes, an absolute tank, great in the big water, perfect in the rough stuff, and yeah, absolute fishing machine for the Great Lakes and the big water.
All right, here we are on the inside of the boat, and I think I can get used to these conventions.
Yeah, they are great. One of the nicest things about them is they are not pinned down in place, so you can move them anywhere you want, Avery. So depending on what you're fishing for, what you're doing, or if you're for a cruise, you can put a bench completely against the back if you want for a boat ride. If we go to the helm seat, lots of room up in here for electronics, all kinds of room. And they've got big shelves underneath as well as storage at your feet on both sides. Glove box there, a storage area to your left there, Avery. And then big storage area in the floor. So lots of room there. If that happens to get wet, there's a drain as well that will take the water out. This cabin is completely sealed off from the the bow if you need to for weather. So you've got the lower door, you've got the upper door, you close the top, and away you go. And again, the bow is self-bailing, so if water comes into the bow, it gets taken out by channels and not into your bilge, which is really nice. And then also in the front, at the top, big live well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, huge live well here. In addition to the live well in the front, there's also a great fish box in the back.
That's huge.
And I tend to use, it's got an integrated cutting board as well. So that's kind of nice. And again, big fish box, lots of room. And in the summer, I tend to use this one rather than walk fish up through my,
to the top.
Right, past my customers, you know. I just use it here, fill this up with ice, and away we go.
Well, if you are looking for a big water boat that can double as a multi-species boat, keep you warm, keep you dry, this Fantom series is definitely one you want to be looking at. Thank you for giving us a walkthrough, Dave. When are you going to be taking us out?
Well, you're welcome, and you're welcome anytime. Looking forward to our next trip out.
All right, so this is the Adventurer Pro series, and this is the boat that I have been running for the past few years, and I absolutely love this boat. But we're gonna go and see the 188 Adventurer Pro series DC, which is actually for 2025 in a contour edition. So there is a lot of different upgrades to my boat that I've been running the past few years. I'm gonna talk about what I love about this boat, but also what I think is really cool for the upcoming season. This sea deck is really, really cool. And the advantage to having sea deck is when you are fishing, I fish a lot of multi-species, so I'll fish for salmon, big lake trout, and when you're trolling, sometimes you'll get it hooked deep in the fish and they'll bleed, or they will slime the carpet, and it is quite hard to like wash that out of the carpet. But having sea deck, you can just easily spray it, easily clean it off. So it is sea deck and all vinyl. There's a little bit of carpet on the sides of the boat, but this upgrade makes it a lot easier for multi-species anglers to clean their boat, keep it nice. So this vinyl and sea deck, it looks great, and the sea deck is slip resistant, it is comfortable for your feet, and it's just an awesome upgrade or addition if you want that instead of carpet. So a really cool thing about this live well is it starts here, and then it doesn't just stop here at the opening of the live well. It actually goes all the way to the second compartment. And then there's another live well at the front that we quite often keep our bait in, to keep our bait separated from our fish if we are fishing with a live bait. It's also great to have twin live wells when you are a tournament angler. I don't often fish tournaments, but when I do, it is a great way to separate fish. Little side note, we'll also use this front live well if we aren't using it for bait or tournament fish as a cooler. We'll throw some ice in here, put some cool drinks, keep our water, keep our pop cold, and lunches in here as well, so that we have a cooler pretty much built into the boat. So one thing about this storage compartment, this big long compartment at the back of the boat, is we specifically use it for trolling gear. So I said we don't often go trolling, but when we do, we want to keep our gear separate from our other gear, just so we don't have to dig out dipsies, dig out spoons out from our front compartments where our bass fishing gear is, or our other multi-species gear is. We've got all of this room here at the back of the boat that's perfect for our trolling gear. Storage in this boat is pretty endless. We've got a big compartment here on the side of the boat that will often keep bumpers, ropes, safety gear, lights in, just so that it's here and all of our safety gear is in one compartment and out of the way of our fishing gear. And then one of my favorite aspects of this boat is this rod locker compartment here. I love this rod locker compartment. It keeps my rods out of the way. It keeps them from getting tangled in with each other, and is just an awesome aspect to the boat. I can fit my pretty long rods in there, and it is a great way to stay organized and prevent tangles in my rods. Up front, we've got three storage compartments that are huge. I could probably fit my little sister in here. And let's look at the room on this dash. So this console can actually fit multiple graphs. So I've got one graph here and then one graph here on my boat. And so because of all of this space, it makes room for lots of technology. If you are a fisherman that likes to use sonar, likes to use side imaging, down imaging, live imaging as well, it is perfect because you can not only fit one graph, but you can fit two, and you can fit fairly big sized ones as well. All of the controls are also C-zone. You don't have to worry about water damaging them. There are a lot of really well thought out aspects and features to this boat. One being this button here at the front of the boat, which actually gives you the availability to tilt your back motor up and down, your outboard up and down. So if you're in the thick weeds and you need to lift your motor up, but you don't want to go all the way to the back of the boat, you have the option to just press this button. And then also right here is another switch, yaw blow button. And so for those of you that don't know what yaw blow is, it is basically a low voltage ventilation system that is all throughout the boat, and it prevents rust, it prevents corrosion, it prevents mildew and mold, all from precipitation and basically the humidity that creates moisture in the compartments. And so this ventilation system is a really, really cool thing that really excites me about this new Smokercraft Contour Edition. All right, we are here at the Oakwood Resort on Lake Wawasee. I think that's how you pronounce it. And a really cool thing that they do for the dealers is they don't only show them back at the factory at Smokercraft HQ, they also show them off here on the lake and actually give their dealers a chance to get into the boats on the water. So we thought we would come down here, check out the boats on the water for a couple minutes. There's 19 different models of pontoons, of fishing boats, of just cruising type boats. So we've got a Starcraft behind Dad, a Sun Chaser behind me, Sylvan going out right now. Anything that you could imagine if you're a pontoon boat enthusiast out here on the water. And it seems like a lot of families are going out and enjoying them right now, test driving them out in the nice warm weather here. So they've got the pontoons down there, but as we walk further this way, they've got the Starweld, they've got the Starcraft, Smokercraft, and then something I'm very familiar with on my right, the 188 Adventure Pro DC. And right here, unlike my boat, it's got a top on it. And my grandpa, whenever we're out, always complains about not having a top on the boat because he wants to be in the shade. So Grandpa, maybe now that we're here, we'll look into getting a top for you. All right, so I'm here with Michael Boyle, and he is in charge of all the automation for creating the pontoons for the pontoon boats. He's gonna go through it, show me the process of how these pontoons are made for the pontoon boats. So how is it made, Michael?
Awesome, so yeah, we can start right walking through the process. We start out with flat sheet, so just rectangular sheets of aluminum. They come over here onto our 4-roll CNC roller where the guys will set up, they'll load it, machine comes in, grabs the material, squares it up and feeds it, and it spits out a perfectly round tube. Our next step in the process, they'll take the tube off the roller, they'll bring it over to our semi-automated seam welder. So this is a water-cooled seam welder. So they set the tube up here, they make sure everything is aligned. They basically hit go, and that welder's gonna run itself down. When it gets to the very end, it lifts itself up. The operator unloads it, and on to the next step.
So what are these like frisbee-like things for?
Sure, so the frisbees are our end caps and our baffles. So these go inside the tube sections to give it support, and also to, I guess, terminate the end. So this is what your transducer brackets go on, your pump brackets, all of that would be on something like this. This one is actually a baffle, so this goes inside the tube, whereas like that would be an end cap. So that one would go on the very end of the tube. So as far as the nose cone goes, this is a whole separate automation process. So just like the tubes, we start out flat sheet. So this giant Dorito is like laser cut. So we start out here, and we'll walk over onto our roller where our operators will feed it in, and it starts the general shape of the nose cone, so it has somewhat of a preform to it before it goes into our nose cone automation machines. So with the robots right behind me, we'll take that loosely formed nose cone, we'll put it through a bunch of clamps, a huge sequence of clamps, and we basically maintain its shape. The robots come down, tack it together, and then from this stage we throw it on the other side of the machine where we go ahead, weld on all the other components. So at that point, the nose cone is pretty much complete and ready to go onto a tube. So after the tube sections are essentially assembled, we've got to make the whole entire pontoon to full length. So we come over here to our alignment beds where we'll set the tube sections on, we'll compress the tube together, and then our welders will go ahead and throw just a few tacks on it to hold it all together before it goes into the big cell. So after the tubes are, loosely assembled, they'll come in here into the tube welding cells. From here, they're going to be welded the whole entire seam, so that tube will rotate 360 degrees. From there, the operator puts on the risers, or puts all the risers on the fixtures. The fixture drops down on the tube and all 3 robots go to town welding at the same time. One of the initiatives that we had when starting this project was we were trying to add capacity to our total production throughput. So when these guys, it was never the intention to replace people. So the risers come down, all 3 robots go to town at the same time in about 10.5 minutes, 11 minutes, depending on the size of the tube, you get a complete tube. So the very last step of the process after the tube comes out of the automated cell is we're gonna hand put on our lifting strakes and our keel. So this is where we also pressure check our tubes, make sure there's no defects. And after it's all been quality checked and everything like that, it's ready to become a boat.
All right, thank you so much for the tour, Michael. That was really cool. There's a lot more going into how a pontoon is made than I thought. And yeah, thanks for the tour. That was awesome.
Yeah, no problem, anytime.
All right, I'm here with Jake Romanak with Smokercraft, and he's going to tell us about something that is brand new in 2025, the upcoming season. That is really cool. Jake, would you get into it?
Yeah, I'm super excited right now. Smokercraft has teamed up with Mossy Oak and have done an exclusive marketing agreement to offer 2 Camo Patterns to our existing boats. Right now we're doing our utility boats, the style boats that were pretty much, your run and gun style utility boats. And so our Freedom lines, our Sportsman series, and then we're actually doing some of the pontoons as well. But we're teaming up with these Camo Patterns, which is extremely exciting for me. Offering the 2 patterns for the guys that, if you're hunting areas where there's a lot of grass, you're gonna be looking at the blades, and that's why we came up with this. The cool thing about it's all hand painted, so it's extremely labor intensive, but they were able to get it at a really competitive package, so it's not overpriced. Something that you can add that camo to your boat, but you're not breaking the bank doing that. But then maybe you find yourself down south and you're duck hunting in the timber and you want a timber, that's where the bottomlands comes into. So both options, you can either do the blades, you can do the bottomlands in a lot of our different series of boats. So I'm really excited this year to offer that for us, and judging off of what our dealer meeting's doing, it looks like it's gonna go over pretty well.
That's awesome. We're gonna have to get one of these for duck hunting at home. All right, well, it is time to wrap it up. Everyone that has been here today, all the dealers, all the people that work for Smokercraft, come out to the Moscow Mule Bar. Unfortunately, I'm 1 year away in Canada, so I can't enjoy the Moscow Mule Bar, but I'm gonna just mingle, talk to some people, enjoy my evening. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little walkthrough. That is basically a day at the dealer meeting. I had a great time meeting new people, looking at new products, experiencing this dealer meeting for the first time ever. And I'm very excited about upcoming things for the 2025 season. If you like this video, please click the like button. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please click the big red subscribe button and check out some Smokercraft boats. See you next time.